I'm Cape Joel, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly, daily, all the time, anytime comic book show where I give you your fix of everything you need to know for the world of comic books and superheroes. And on today's show, we're taking a closer look at new Super-Man issue number 1. Who is this new, strange, and amazing Asian Superman? Is he friend or foe? Well, let's hop on in together and find out, shall we? Okay then, so as we open up the comic, we're in Shanghai, the futuristic Asian city of tomorrow. We see a poor little chubby kid get hassled, beaten up, and his lunch money stolen from him. Will anyone help him? Is there a hero out there? No, actually. In fact, as we find out, the guy bullying Tubby over here is actually our hero and the main character of the story, Kenan Kong. Yeah, wow, we're only a couple pages into this story and already they're turning the whole Superman mythos idea on its head by having our main character be something of a dick biscuit. Now, Tubby ends up taking off and Kenan chases after him. Unfortunately, he runs smack dab into the middle of one of China's most prominent American-style supervillains, a guy calling himself Blue Falcon. Kenan throws his soda can at Blue Falcon's head, and everyone misconstrues this as him being some sort of big hero. So much to the point that a pretty girl named Lonnie Lang, who works for Shanghai Nighttime News, wants to do a piece on both Kenan and his family. And why, yes, before you ask, the Superman universe does indeed love romantic interest with double L initials. Kenan is super excited about the idea of a girl taking an interest in him, and even more so at the idea of becoming famous after this story of his goes viral. Unfortunately, when he tells his father about it, Daddy Not So Dearest isn't so excited. In fact, dear old dad is actually something of a shit piston, which might explain why his son is such a dick biscuit, as I mentioned before. As we find out, Kenan's dad is something of a conspiracy nut who is continually ditching his son to go do work with his writers group that's supposedly revealing some sort of corruption in the Chinese government. Kenan is super depressed, and as such he decides to visit his mother's grave. His mom, we find out, died in a plane crash, and that chubby kid he was harassing from the beginning of the issue, well, his parents owned the airline. It's also here at the gravesite Kenan ends up meeting Dr.Omen. You'll remember her from the Death of Superman Super League storyline. She was the one attempting to create a viable clone of Superman, but she was shut down by the Chinese equivalent of the Justice League, and as such was taken in by the government. But oh, big surprise, the government now wants her to make a Superman for them. As we eventually find out, American-style superheroes in China are something of a new thing, so it only makes sense that the government would want to get their hands on their own version of Superman, and being a crappy teenage kid, Kenan absolutely jumps at the opportunity to get a costume, which looks freaking awesome, by the way, reminds me a lot of Mon-El, and gets shot up with his own set of superpowers. The experiment ends up being a rollicking success, and Kenan is reborn as the Super-Man. As the comic ends, however, these very illegal activities end up catching the attention of the Chinese-Batman and the Wonder Woman. New Superman issue number 1 is a really interesting starting point for this new series. I like the idea the book seems to be running with of playing with the whole mythos of Superman, but, you know, transplanting it to another part of the world where it all feels fresh and new. I like that the character we're following isn't the all-American apple pie-eating, flag-saluting good kid. In fact, he's the exact opposite of Clark Kent in just about every conceivable way. I also really dig the theming and symbology of planes and plane crashes. Of course, if you've watched or read anything Superman related, stopping planes from falling, well, you know, that's basically just a day that ends in Y for him. And yet for this new Superman we're following, a big tragedy that ended up making the bulk of his life, you know, was related to a plane crash, something that American Superman could have dealt with like it was nothing. Overall, I feel confident giving this one a very strong 7.5 out of 10, and I'm interested to see where the book goes from here. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my newest video. I hope you enjoyed it, and while you're here, why not check out another video I have on offer, or maybe if you're feeling in a supportive mood, you want to like or subscribe. And if you want to support the creation of more videos just like this one, then please by all means check out the Cape Joel Patreon. A little bit goes a very long way, and I will see you all next time.